How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the details released here recently about Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster. So, in the weekly issue of the Famitsu magazine, number 1652, there was a 6-page feature on Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster, and we also have some comments from the creators of the game themselves and what they did to make this game stand out, what they did for the HD Remaster, and what they did about the criticism from the original game, and how they're planning on changing that for this new release of the game. So there was a Famitsu magazine which featured 6 pages of this game, and here are all the actual pages we got. And it says here there's a couple comparison shots between the original PS2 game's graphics and the improved visuals of the remaster. So let's go over each of these pictures here and see what all we got here. So we have the main character here. I think this is talking about the story. It's a story along the side, but we actually have some combat here, some dialogue scenes, more pictures of the character, him in his normal outfit, normal clothing, and some pretty cool looking landscape shots there in the background, but not a whole ton to take from that. But this picture right here, we have a lot more to go off of. We actually have a line of profile pictures of all the different characters here, but I mean, I don't speak Japanese, I can't read Japanese, but we probably would be able to see there's a little bit of a profile of talking about what each character kind of has going on there for them. We also have some more difficulties in the background. So we have merciful, normal, and hard. So we can see that there's a different difficulty sliders here. The actual pictures of the stats for the different characters is high pixie right there, and some of the other pictures are, that's just normal pixie right there. And I think we have some more skill tree branches here, the character doing a couple different moves and stuff like that. So we actually have some pretty decent, cool gameplay aspects going on in the background here for this picture. Let's move on over to the other ones. And here are the before and after shots right here. So the first thing I really noticed, especially about these pictures right here, is there's a big focus on lighting. Like, look here at this picture of the before, and then look at the after here. Especially at the top here, you can tell the lighting is a lot better. The actual shine is coming in clearer. The actual outline of the glowing parts on his body definitely appear to be a lot bigger, and just a depth of field. Like, look at these two pictures side by side. Obviously the aspect ratio is different because it's an older game. They actually stretch it out to 1080p, so that's why the picture is actually longer. Depth of field looks better, and I think overall you definitely could tell they definitely tried on this HD remaster. This isn't going to be a botched HD remaster, and once again, looking from here to here, you can tell the lighting's better, the outline of the character's better, even the blurriness of the background looks a lot better, and the particle dust going on here looks a whole lot better on the after pictures. I definitely think this is a remaster that's worth taking a look at, and definitely worth probably buying if you want to play the most definitive version of Nocturne. This is one of the most beloved S&T games, so I definitely think this is probably one of the best ways to go about doing this game. And we have some different box art showing the different sort of versions of this game. The original one looks pretty cool there, the black and white one, and the other one here, the plus version of it. But this released 2003, 2004, 2008, and I don't really know what the rest of this is. It's all in Japanese, so it's kind of hard to tell. This is from a Japanese magazine, so we can't fully see what's all going on there. And this had released in August 13, 2020. An issue released on July 30th, 2020. And we have some details going on when this game is going to be releasing. So it is confirmed that it's coming out for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch on October 23rd, 2020 in Japan, China, and South Korea. The game will be released in the West in spring 2021. So we knew about that spring bit, but I don't think we were 100% sure on it releasing October 23rd in 2020. So with that in mind, you probably can actually end up seeing a decent bit of gameplay. I mean, this is going to be months before it releases everywhere else, so you can definitely check a lot of gameplay before this game even comes out, to be completely honest. You can check a lot of gameplay out. It's going to be months before, you know, we get it here in the West. People are probably going to have this game beat within the first week or two it comes out. So yeah, if you want to definitely make sure you don't, know if you want to buy this game, you could definitely watch some people over, in the East play it and find out whether or not this game looks good enough for you, or whether or not you want it. But let's go over to some more news for this game, and these are the actual details from the creators of the game, and they're talking about the negative feedback that they had. I'm getting all of this news off of Persona Central, just to let you know about that. But so here are the details of what this game has meant to the creators and what they're trying to do to change things about it. So here's the original release's reception and what they kind of got. When the original version of Shin Megami Tensei 3 was released, the content and setting had changed drastically from Shin Megami Tensei 2, which resulted in a downpour of rude comments on a huge message board that had become popular at the time. The staff were very shocked at the criticism coming at such an alarming rate. After a while, the positive comments for those who took the time to play the game slowly started to increase, and after the release of Minimax, it started to even be called a god game. Yamai found that impressive, and he couldn't believe his eyes. So it's shown that the release of the game was pretty, I don't know, different at the time. A lot of times when game creators make their games a lot different compared to the previous ones, typically we end up seeing things like that where the game ends up getting a bad feedback just because it is different compared to what we have seen. But this is the most important note right here. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster development is at 90% finished. Now, that is talking about just the game being remastered. That is not including dubbing for the West. But this is still a good thing, as seeing as how it's 90% finished. It's coming out October in, you know, Asia and Asian countries, so it makes sense that it is 90% finished at where it is at currently. And I'm pretty enthusiastic about this and ready to see it released in the West. But there's a lot more going on here, a lot more stuff to be talking about. The Merciful Difficulty setting is a benevolent one that allows the player to defeat difficult enemies with a simple series of button presses. It'll be available as free DLC. So the Merciful Difficulty is going to be a free DLC. It's going to make it a lot easier for those of you who might have some difficulty playing a game like this. The character voices and dialogue are more memorable, and they are enhanced with drama more than expected. The scenario itself has not been altered in any way, and the voices can be turned off. So you can turn voices off if you would want to. There's a difference between hardware that is more than 17 years old and today's hardware, not only when it comes to performance, but such things as data processing methods and areas of expertise, trying to shift old data as it will therefore not maintain how it originally was, or will not shift at all. There are more than 4,500 elements that have been fine-tuned, and Yama is proud of the things that were refined to such a considerable degree, which is pretty cool to think about. To ensure the original game is thorough procedure and the current generation platforms, the development team asked that a QA department, the team responsible for objectively looking over quality, join them for the middle of development, and subsequently spent a long time with them, which is nice. So they wanted to make sure the game still looked good and still had, you know, credibility for what it originally was. Yama believes this will be a request from the fans to revive SMT3 for a long time. They have been thinking about how they can provide a way for many people to play it. Since the original game has been priced at a premium at retail, unwilling for them during the live stream, Yamai mentioned that Atlas surveys always had many requests for an SMT3 master. So a lot of this, for the reason why they're actually remastering this game, is just because of how many people during surveys for Atlas said that they wanted an SMT3 remaster. And this just goes to show that Atlas is willing to listen. They're willing to remaster games that we keep saying that we want to have remastered. They're willing to do something like this. We really just need to keep at it and keep with them and keep telling them that we want games like this, and it seems that they are willing to do it. I know you Persona 5 people on, want Persona 5 on Switch. You might get what you want if you ask it enough. I know that's a whole battle right now, but I'm not going to go into that. Developers are trying to subtly and obtrusively improve the game's visuals. Developers are very particular about respecting the original work of the process of remastering. They felt strong and felt that they should do anything to compromise that. As he said in the live stream last week, Yamai compares the work to the delicate process to rebuild a shrine, which I think is the best way to go about this. They're not trying to destroy what was originally Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. They're just trying to improve upon it and make it look better, which I think is the best way to do a remaster, instead of completely just changing huge aspects about the game that people loved. I think that's a good way to do it. And it looks like this game is not far along, guys. So yeah, hopefully it comes along very early in spring of next year. That's how I would like it to be, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. Let's go over to more of what we have here, more about the release of the game coming out October 29th for everywhere else in Japan and the West. Yeah, I think that's mostly what we have going on here. not a whole lot more to talk about, but I thought this would be pretty cool to bring up the subject of this basically limited edition of the game. It's only in Japan, so don't get your hopes up. I know it's probably kind of down to cover, but I still just want to talk about it because I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I know we're not going to be able to get this, but it's released for the Switch and PS4 in Japan, and this honestly looks pretty dope from just what I can tell. And it includes the real Ayakashi monthly issue, which is 106 pages, a collaboration between, I'm not going to read the names, who worked on the series, 25th anniversary, Mega 10, Maniac Scriptures, a sequel to the occurring magazine that was not released because of the conception in Tokyo. Maniac is a full information from descriptions of the world to the absence of artwork. There's a newly recorded piano arrangements plus 2 rare CD soundtracks, which includes 37 songs in total. So that kind of shows that they also had remastered a lot of the music within this game as well. It says a rare soundtrack, which leads me to believe that, just like always with Persona and Shin Megami Tensei and just in general, their soundtracks are super rare, and we never ever, if you go and try and find those like on eBay or third-party sites, they're always a fortune. People always want to have those soundtracks, but it's just so hard to get them. It's, you know, practically impossible. A gorgeous 2-disc set consisting of the new piano arrangement, which is a must-listen collection for new recordings only played by piano, alongside a rare soundtrack containing in-game songs that are not included in the soundtrack, which, you know, that right there is going to be worth a lot. A model of drum wheel type aroma lamp incense burner 2020 model, a latest model of the incense burner that came along the original game's deluxe pack. So the original game had this incense burner, but it looks like we're going to be getting a newly updated version, I guess, of it, a more modern looking version of it. I'm not sure how much it looks, you know, towards how much the original looked like or how similar they are, but we kind of have that, and I thought this would be pretty cool to talk about. Sorry, this video was a bit of a ramble. I just wanted to talk about this and get this out here. But yeah, I look forward to this game. I think this is going to be pretty interesting, none the least. And we actually have some details here regarding price as well. Released in October, blah blah blah. Showing me today, Nocturne HD Remaster will cost 5980 yen, including tax, for its regular edition, and then the better version of it's going to cost $140. Basically, with yen, we could tell they just don't put a dot or a period where the cents are. So basically, this means that this is going to be $59. So basically, $60. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case considering, you know, inflation for the dollar everywhere else. But I think here in America, we could consider this to be a $60 game. I wouldn't be surprised if they had this come out and it actually be $60. So yeah, we're just gonna have to wait for that and wait for this thing to come out. Honestly, I think for $60 I probably would buy this game, and I'm not 100% against that because I really do think that it kind of deserves it. I mean, we went for this for a long time, and it looks like they've been working really hard on this game. But that's a lot of info, that's a lot of information. If you guys like these videos, please like, comment, subscribe for more content. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.